What's up, everyone? Welcome to Level 7. It is time for another episode of the Agents of Fandom podcast. And in a multiverse with limitless possibilities, we thought, why not go live to talk about episodes 1 and 2 of Marvel Studios' newest animated show, Season 3 of What If. We got the first 2 episodes out. I am TJ Zwarich. To help me break it down, I got my co-host and good buddy, Damon Gray, fresh off getting our asses beat in Marvel Rivals last night.
Oh man, when we're both support and the whole team. Hey, first match, we won. It was splendid. It was dominant. It was like, all right, we're in for
we had 15 plus kills and 30 assists. Like we were cooking.
In for a dominant night. This is gonna be spectacular. And then for the next 5, 6, 7, I lost count of how many matches we did. We were like, oh, where's our team? Everyone just decided to do our own thing. So as support, we can't help that. I could try, but when I can't heal more than one person at a time, and that one person is Doctor Strange, who isn't doing much damage, not much I can do.
Shout out to our guy Ryan Cortero in chat. Ryan reflects on socials. He said, "What if I was good at Marvel Rivals?" And that's how we were feeling after last night. Is what if in a universe of limitless possibilities we could be good at this game? But I don't actually think we're bad. I just think as support, there's only so much you can do if nobody is getting any kills. And I got to admit, longtime listeners of the podcast know. Rich, you're in group chats with us. You know, I like to make fun of Damon when the opportunity arises. But I must admit, I'm like level 28 or 29. Damon's level like 13 or something like that. I think he's better than me. I think he's better than me right now. And so I got to step up my game. I play enough. I put the hours in. All I do right now is work, parent, and play Marvel Rivals. That's literally all I do right now. But I'm just not really getting any better. And so I got to figure some shit out. But helping us break down the first 2 episodes of What If today, somebody who knows all about working and then watching some Marvel content, it's our guy, the machine, Rich Nebbins. How you doing today, Richard?
Doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me. I got to get into Marvel Rivals. That's one I haven't quite gotten on the train yet for, but I've been busier than normal lately. I think things are picking up for me a little bit work-wise with, stuff at the Direct and obviously doing stuff with you guys at Agents of Fandom. But happy holidays to everybody too, by the way. Merry Christmas. Hanukkah starts on Christmas, which is going to be fun this year. Yeah, we got some fun stuff to talk about for the end of the year.
We're all celebrating together.
Yeah, exactly. And then and we got some what if. I may be a little bit higher on the what if train than a lot of people have. I mean, given I like pretty much everything Marvel's done except for a rare thing or two. We all know which one.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Yeah, that's the one. But no, I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here for the holidays, and look forward to talking some what if.
Couldn't agree more, and I'm excited to dive into it. We will be talking the next 3 episodes on the 26th, Boxing Day, after Christmas Day. And so hopefully a few more people will be able to tune in for that one. And it's going to be a busy show because we got a great guest. We got our guy, Tommy Stella, superstar of Star Wars Twitter and comic book creator, joining us to talk some Skeleton Crew. We'll talk What If. We'll talk Skeleton Crew. We'll talk Creature Commandos. We have 2, at least 1 for sure, but probably 2 former Agents of Fandom co-hosts joining us for that one. And this is why you want to hit the like button, smash it, caress it, click it, whatever you like. If you're watching on your computer, all you got to do is take the mouse, slide it over, click the like button. You're watching on your phone. I admit it's tougher. It's 2 steps. You got to click hide chat, and then you can hit the like button. So do that for us. Put the notifications on. Make sure you're subscribed because we have so much great stuff coming. In addition to the Brian Andrews What If interview we already have next week, next Monday, a week from today, December 30th, when we're covering 2 more episodes of What If. Speaking of Marvel Rivals, we're going to have a very special guest joining us John Bailey, the voice of Jeff the Landshark himself, will be joining us live on the show to talk a little Jeff, to talk a little Marvel Rivals. So make sure you join us for that one.
That can I just say that is so awesome. I've been a John Bailey fan for a while. He is, for those of you who don't know, he's the voice of Honest Trailers from Screen Junkies, and he's done that for years. And he's one of my favorite voice guys ever to listen to. So shout out to you guys. That's gonna be a fun one. I'm gonna be tuning into that.
And I couldn't agree more. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna save the rest of the Jeff voices for him as opposed to me trying to do them. But we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have some great questions for him. We're gonna talk Marvel Rivals. We're gonna talk Marvel's What If. It's gonna be a ton of fun. So make sure you tune in for that one. What you guys been watching lately? Because I need to go last because I am so all over the place lately. I've been without my ADHD meds for like a week. I can go pick them up now. I just haven't had a chance to go do it yet today. And I've just been working and playing Rivals and parenting and having get-togethers. One thing I've been watching is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Sonic 3 I went to in theaters. That is an absolute blast, and we will be having an episode review dropping Tuesday, December 24th. For that one, we're going to have a lot of fun. We got myself, Ryan Cortero, in chat right now, and Adam Blevins, as well as Klein Felt from the Direct.com and the Reckless Rebellion podcast. Big Sonic the Hedgehog fans. So we're going to be talking about Sonic 3. That'll drop tomorrow. That's the big thing that I've been watching. Other than that, I finished Young Justice, and guess what I restarted, Damon?
A little Legend of Korra, a little Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is what we went into. It's just the perfect throw on in the background, throw on before bed to fall asleep to comfort show. Damon, what you been watching? What you been reading?
Oh man, what I've been reading. So it's funny that you mentioned the reading part and that we've been mentioning Marvel Rivals because it feels like it's just been taking over both of our lives in two separate ways. I've been going back and reading some old Cloak and Dagger comics because there's not a whole lot of them. And I have some really old ones way back in like the Strange Tales era of Marvel when they actually used to do anthologies. And they'd had Cloak and Dagger issues at the back end of them after like a Doctor Strange issue. So it's been fun reading and then going back and like reading like the limited series in the 80s, which kind of like really defined them. Watching wise, I've been very excited, as I've been mentioning the last couple weeks, for this Nosferatu movie. I am very excited for it. So as I mentioned, been going through a lot of vampire movies, a lot of Dracula movies. All the Dracula movies tell the exact same story. Again and again and again and again. Can't tell you how many times I'm about to see some real estate agent go over to some castle in Transylvania and just screw up an entire town over and over and over again. It's great. But leading into it, I've also been watching all of Robert Eggers' like films, all three previous ones, and I am on to the last one tonight, The Northman, which I've heard mixed reviews of. However, The Lighthouse, fantastic, and The Witch is great.
Have you gotten a chance in the past to watch the Cloak and Dagger TV show?
Yes, the one that was all the way back in the was it ABC Family back then?
Freeform, I think.
Freeform, ABC Family, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I've watched it, and I remember the first season being pretty good. I remember the second season being pretty all right.
Yeah, it's a really good show. So check out Cloak and Dagger if you haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. It's on Disney Plus. Rich, how about you? What you been watching?
Yeah, no, it's funny. There's that and Runaways are the only things even MCU like adjacent or related that I haven't seen. So I should check those out sometime. I saw Sonic yesterday. I had a blast. A couple of the stuff from Jim Carrey, some of the funniest stuff I think I've ever seen from him. And I've been a Jim Carrey fan for decades. And then just keeping up with the stuff that we got to keep up with. I mean, What If? Skeleton Crew, Creature Commandos has been awesome. I've really been digging Creature Commandos a lot. And just getting into some of the holiday movies a little bit. Watched a few on TV, a couple of the Santa Clauses, and just getting into the holiday spirit a little bit. But yeah, we got a lot to watch right now, and then there's so much to watch for next year too. Like we have a huge 2025 to look forward to, also with movies and TV shows and everything. We got a lot to look forward to.
I also, TJ, forgot to mention, it is that time of year. So what would I, of course, be watching this time of year?
Hawkeye.
Yeah, great time to rewatch Hawkeye, everyone.
gotta get into a
Manifest that
Hawkeye
season
rewatch.
2 for me. Go get that Blu-ray for me. Tell them you want a second season. If anything, do it for me, please.
Do it for Damon.
Do it for Damon. I already did my rewatch of Iron Man 3. We have not done the Hawkeye one yet, but that is definitely going to be on the table here over the next few days as we celebrate the holidays. And just one more shout, definitely give Runaways and Cloak and Dagger both a watch if you haven't yet, because they are really, really fun shows. And Hawkeye, another great rewatch for the holiday season. Another great watch for the holiday season is What If Season 3, new episodes dropping each day. Damon, we're 2 episodes in. I know there's a very specific thing you are hoping to see in this series, and otherwise it's probably not going to reach expectations for you. What have you thought of the first two episodes?
Yeah, I mean, look, What If is a fun show, and I try not to take What If too seriously, honestly. Yes, there is one thing, and I don't know if you want me to talk about it now or later, that I really want this show to end on. Judging by social media reactions, everyone, I might as well move on from my dream idea of it all, unfortunately. However, that being said, it's a fun show. It's a show that, like, you get to see the return of characters we haven't seen in quite some time. Return of characters we've only seen once, and you get to put them into different scenarios, and that's the fun of it. Will we ever get that episode of what if the other Avengers, the other half got snapped? No, I don't think we ever will, and I don't think we ever should. We already got that question answered for us. So this is the exploration of other things. You make one tiny twist and it changes everything else, right? That's the type of what ifs that are fun.
I agree. One tiny twist, it changes everything. Hopefully it connects to bigger stuff. It doesn't need to with every single episode, but those are my favorite type of things as well. I was talking about this with our former co-host Garrett the other day, and it really does feel like with this show that they take, they're well planned out. They're planned out well in advance. They have all these ideas that they whittle it down to. Every single episode should be a home run. Everyone should be super cool because you're choosing the best options. And it kind of just seems like each of these are side ones, like extras as opposed to the main event. And it kind of just seemed like What If is filled with a lot of extras as opposed to it being the main event of its own show. Having said that, I did really love episode 1. What if the Mech Avengers fought the Hulk? I thought that was super cool. Like Damon said, it was so great seeing a bunch of characters we haven't seen in a really long time. That's the best part of the first 2 episodes, I think, so far. And episode 2, I don't think it concluded the way I wanted it to, but it was a lot of fun. Rich, what did you think of the first 2 episodes?
I've enjoyed them. I really like the first 2 episodes so far. Like you were saying, episode 1 in particular, with like characters that we haven't seen in a while and interactions that we've never seen before. Like for all the complaints that you can have about What If, one of the cool things that I like is that they put together these combinations of characters that we really haven't seen a lot of, like this new Avengers team. And like I was mentioning to my wife, we were watching them before we went on. This is the first time we've seen Sam Wilson as Captain America in almost 4 years in the first episode, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. It's the first time we've seen a lot of these characters in at least 2-3 years. But no, I had a lot of fun with them. It's stuff too that, like, especially in episode 1, you could not pull off in live action. Like episode 1 needed to be an animated series because there's no way that you're going to have the kind of budget that you would need to pull off what you pulled off in episode 1 in real life. But no, I had a lot of fun with them. Look forward to diving into them.
Damon, episode 1, what if the Mech Avengers fought the Hulk? I thought this was so much fun. getting to see the retro animated stuff at the beginning of the episode, straight through getting to see all of the different characters interacting with each other. We get a totally new Avengers team after the first set of Avengers loses in a gamma war to a Hulk, where Bruce was trying to get rid of his
Hulk counterpart.
Yeah. And instead he turns it into Godzilla Hulk, where filled with a bunch of little Hulk minions. This was so much fun. What did you think about episode 1? What were some of your favorite parts?
Yeah, episode 1 is fine. I'm not one for big kaiju fights, big monster fights. I'm not much of a Godzilla fan. As I say, I literally have like a little Godzilla Funko Pop in front of me, but that's more for like Godzilla -1, because that movie is
looking upon you in shame.
Superb. That movie is genuinely superb, so I have them for that. But like big monster kaiju fights, never done it for me. Pacific Rim giant robots too, never really done it for me. And when you mash the two together, it's fine. Like you said, to me, my favorite part about this episode is seeing little hints and glimpses of like, yeah, Oscar Isaac is back as like Moon Knight. He has like 5 lines. Isn't that cool? And mostly though, seeing Sam as Captain America for truly the first time proper asterisk, because it's a what if. However, we got to see already how he is different from Steve and how he uses that therapist angle when he goes in and he talks to Bruce. He's trying to help him out. I loved that. And you got to see the type of leader that Sam is and how he, told Bruce, he's like, I'm not scared of you. I look at you and I see a friend. And that kind of all goes back to the very end of the episode. That was a part about that episode I enjoyed the most, but there is like some comic reference, like comic basings in here. There's Marvel Strike Force, which is literally the Mech Avengers stuff, and then there's also like the Avengers mangaverse, which is very similar to how this kaiju Godzilla Hulk ended up looking up.
Yeah, he really, really did. And I know you were excited to see Hawkeye in his comic book colors in the original Avengers team. Rich, what did you think about this episode? What were some of your favorite parts?
I'm gonna echo a lot of what Damon said. Like, I mean, the kaiju stuff was cool. I mean, like I enjoyed it enough. Obviously very Pacific Rim, and then very Voltron when they teamed up and made the giant Mech single Avenger. But no, I agree. The best part of this one was seeing Sam Wilson as Captain America for the first time, because like obviously we got a taste of him at the very end of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier when he got the new suit and he fought down the Flag Smashers and everything. But this is the first time we've seen him, albeit in What If, albeit in animation, another universe or something, leading a team of Avengers. And I love the differences between him and Steve. It further, cements the point. Like, obviously, I think Bucky would have been solid as Captain America. I think they could have made that work out. But you can see why Sam was Steve's choice, probably in most universes, to be Captain America after him, because he knows how to lead a team. He knows how to get through to people, obviously with the therapy angle. And honestly, this just gets me a lot more excited for what we're going to see in Captain America Brave New World in February, and especially for what we're going to see from him in Doomsday and Secret Wars over the next couple of years. Like seeing him as the Avengers leader, as the guy, leading this new team of heroes, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see what Anthony Mackie does with it. And also, quick side note before I go back to you, TJ, I'm so happy that most of the actors from the MCU in this episode were the same ones that played their live action counterparts. I mean, the only ones that weren't were Nakia and Melina Vostokov. That was it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Those were some weird additions to the Avengers. I think Nakia made some sense for me, but like, did the Red Guardian and Malia really have to be there? I thought that was kind of odd, but
I'll take David Harbour as the Red Guardian in basically anything. Like outside of Yelena in Black Widow, he was my favorite part of that movie.
Anything to get more David Harbour. They are kind of plunging him in quite a bit, which the character of Red Guardian does nothing for me, but David Harbour's performance makes it kind of fun, is how I feel about it. He does get his own episode later with the Winter Soldier as well. I think that's the next one. if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2 from now, but I think it's the next one.
Next one, yeah.
Damon, you got something?
I was gonna say maybe we could bring it up in the next one, but with the amount of very nice David Harbour Red Guardian stuff we've been getting, are you worried about him in Thunderbolts?
Like if
Like
he'll make it
going
or
bad
not,
or dying?
Oh, he's dead, right? He is so
He's
dead.
probably gonna die.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck. Don't even put that out there, Damon.
He's gone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, he's gone. I agree with that 100%. There's no way he's making it through that movie. It's for me, like, getting to see more Shang-Chi was so awesome. Getting to see more Moon Knight, I would have liked more. I would have even liked at some point with characters like Shang-Chi and Moon Knight who kind of have their own things. If maybe after their mechs broke, we got to see them do cool Moon Knight and
Shang-Chi stuff. Yeah.
Shang-Chi stuff, like
Yeah.
take the rings and fight, take use Khonshu's powers in fights. When I don't even know if Monica had any powers or not in that episode. I don't think so. But
No
I
one
did
really
love,
did ever. Yeah.
I love
No,
Monica.
nobody really used their powers at all.
No, I loved Monica and Sam's dynamic with each other. It felt a lot to me of like what Carol and Sam leading the Avengers could look like in live action. Or maybe Monica and Sam leading the Avengers in live action, because as hard of a hitter as Carol is, we haven't really seen her in like much leadership positions. She wasn't really leading the Marvels. They did that all together, the three of them. So maybe it will be Sam and Monica as the leader of the Avengers if they ever find Monica in the live action MCU universe. But I couldn't agree with you guys more. Sam absolutely crushed it as the leader. Anthony Mackie's incredible in that role, and it got me a lot more excited for Captain America Brave New World. I didn't really get much out of the kaiju fights either. It was cool seeing still like Bruce power up into another Godzilla Hulk to fight demon looking Hulk towards the end, and
I also didn't understand
Sam recognizing him recognizing Sam
Yeah.
towards the end. Like that stuff was pretty cool.
I also didn't understand. He nuked the city, but didn't nuke the city because he absorbed. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's a little confusing.
He was in the nuke, and so it absorbed everything. I don't know. It was fun. It was silly. And that kind of is what these what if episodes have come to be for me. Fun and silly. Don't expect too much. Don't expect big, high stakes connecting to MCU stuff. Just expect some fun. And they deliver on that. And I think this first episode delivered pretty perfectly in that regard. The second one, though, was a lot of fun as well. What if Agatha Harkness went to Hollywood, and you would never know what the premise of this episode would be just by reading the title? This season seems to be a lot more Eternals focused than we otherwise would have realized. Damon, what did you think about what if Varric and Bolin went to Hollywood? I mean, what if Agatha Harkness went to Hollywood? Shout out to our Legend of Korra fans, because this episode was literally just an episode of Legend of Korra, but with different characters.
Oh man, it really was. I sent that to you instantly. I was like, wow, man, what a great time to rewatch the season 2 finale of Korra. That was great. So this one, to me, I had a lot more fun with this one for so many different reasons. And I also enjoy this one for so many different reasons more than the previous one. I think part of it is just because, like, when you bring Kathryn Hahn back to be Agatha Harkness, she's absolutely just going to steal a show. And even in, like, we've seen her in voice acting roles before in Spider-Verse. And so she kills us. Like, kills us bringing back like all the Agatha stuff, and we had a great year for Agatha too, so it just really brought all that together. But also bringing back Camille to be Kingo, like that, like meant a lot. Like to me as a fan of the Eternals and knowing all the hardships he went through for that, like that was really cool. So I was so glad to see him back because he brought in so much fun to this episode, and I wasn't expecting at all. Like, the only thing I knew about this episode going in was the title of it. It was like, what if Agatha went to Hollywood? And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see what goes on. I had no idea, like the Eternals level of fun and lore. We're gonna dig deep down inside it. That's like the fun thing to me when I go into this, expecting one thing and you totally get something else. Because I think they just nailed this. And like you said, Howard Stark is Varric in this episode. They
Howard
literally
Stark.
are doing, they're literally doing the Nuck Tuck movie, and Agatha literally becomes a giant spirit version of Korra in the end, just beating down on the Celestial, which, like, shout out to like the Agatha and the Eternals fans, Caroline in particular, who like just this episode is made for you. To see Agatha become a celestial level being and just straight up take the power of two of them is hilarious and epic and exactly what a what if should be.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you one bit. It was really also cool getting her to see Athena's powers, Kingo's powers, sorry, not Kingo's, Athena's powers, Gilgamesh's powers, and
Makari and Icarus.
Icarus, thank you. I
bit,
couldn't remember
too.
Icarus's name. A little bit of Sprite there too.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool to get to see them fight and see them dance. Rich, what did you think about What If episode 2?
I mean, this is just like it's a tribute to classic Hollywood movies, which is always fun. And I feel like Agatha Harkness is almost the perfect character to bring in, because she is so theatrical and like so, I guess if you want to say extra a little bit, that is totally Agatha Harkness. And Catherine Hahn does such a great job. Like, Catherine Hahn's obviously such a great actor in live action that you forget that she's actually a pretty incredible voice actor too, with Olivia Octavius in the Spider-Verse. She does a great job. And Kingo's been one of my favorites from the Eternals since that movie came out. And I
love that
mad
she made fun of his pew pew guns.
Oh my god, yeah, and you heard the same pew pew that she did with the male guy in WandaVision, which was cool. So that was kind of a fun throwback. Again, obviously, getting Kumail Nanjiani back was great. They did him a little dirty in the Eternals at the very end. I'll say that, not having him in the final battle and all. But I love me some finger guns. I love me some Kumail Nanjiani Kingo. Those interactions are fun, and also. Shout out Dominic Cooper and James Darcy for coming back as Howard Stark and Jarvis. Love both of them. The fact that they finally have like integrated James Darcy's Jarvis into the larger MCU. And yep. Shout out Brandon. Definitely. They brought back James Darcy from Agent Carter.
I love that Brandon's YouTube picture. Whenever we pull it up, it's just like, oh, hey there, Chad Michael Murray.
Oh my god, that's great. I feel like maybe I should change mine now, because I got a great picture with in San Francisco Comic-Con with Andy Serkis. Maybe I should do that. Just like have me and Andy Serkis as my profile picture or something. But anyway, regardless, thank you, Brandon. No, this episode was a lot of fun. It spoke to a lot of what I love about Marvel movies, TV, everything.
The one big qualm I have from this episode is how it ended. I enjoyed the Agatha Harkness, Hero of the South, and Howard Varric Stark. When we're watching, Ava actually like questioned that was Dominic Cooper's Howard Stark because she thought it was the same voice actor as Varric, because it sounded so similar. And so that was a lot of fun. But I do have one big qualm, and I thought it set up so perfectly have Agatha become a big bad of the season because she cares about power. There's no Billy here to remind her of her son and have her change the other way. I really thought the love of movies and the love of being a star being the thing that turned her felt a little weak. And I thought a better outcome, instead of teasing Celestials we haven't seen before, which, don't get me wrong, I am excited to see some more Celestials. I think Agatha becoming full villain, as Brandon saying in chat, would have been the better conclusion to that episode. And like, oh shit, now we have to stop Agatha Harkness with the power of all the Eternals and 2 Celestials.
godlike being.
Yeah, talk about no mega
Dirty
level villain.
and Kahori and Storm. We see you teaming up in the trailer. Let's take her down. Like, that's kind of where I thought this was leading, and I loved that arc for Agatha here. And I was kind of disappointed we didn't get it.
I could totally see that. No, I could absolutely totally see that. I think it didn't bother me so much because Agatha is such an egotistical person. So pitching her the idea of being uber famous and using the like, I didn't think about that, honestly, the way that you were just thinking. And I think I was imagining at one point Agatha to being like the big bad at the end, but now that you pitch it like that, I can totally see it.
Rich, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think Agatha would have been obviously a killer main last villain for this show, especially just because of how popular Agatha's become over the multiverse saga. And like, it does make sense, you know, the fame got to her head and everything, because like Damon said, she is a very, very egotistical person. She loves herself some Agatha Harkness, just like we all do, obviously. But yeah, no, and that's been the interesting thing with these villains over the first two seasons, at least. Like, we had Infinity Ultron, which turned into Infinity Killmonger, and then obviously Strange Supreme, I think, was the main villain at the end of season 2, fighting against Infinity Stone Peggy Carter. So it's really hard to predict like where they're gonna go with these villains. Even like, I've seen all the screeners, and I'm still trying to remember like exactly where everything goes at the end.
You've seen the first 4, right?
Actually, when I got it, they gave me the whole thing. Actually, so I've seen the whole season.
Not the whole thing. Very interesting. I've only seen 4. That's exciting.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. But yeah, no, and I think Agatha would have been obviously an incredible last villain, but I do kind of see where they were going with her. But obviously, looking forward to seeing how the rest of this thing plays out too.
My only thing going forward
with a really fun comment in chat that it would have been really cool to see Celestial Agatha versus Galactus, especially with Galactus appearing and expected to appear. Well, he is appearing in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, he's in Fantastic Four.
That would have been really cool to see some Agatha versus Galactus at some point in this.
Yeah.
Damon, you were about to say something?
I was, and I totally forgot about it. I was going to say the only thing
was so good.
I know it was. The only thing for me going forward, I know what I was going to say, with an Agatha of that type of power and caliber, and I hate to bring up Secret Invasion again, but now you have a character who is so incredibly powerful. What type of threat could possibly come? Like, what type of threat could possibly come that a duo celestial, all eternal level Agatha, who also just looks like the spirit of Avatar Korra, bigger than the earth, would be struggling to face?
1, Galactus. 2, Kahori. Those are my two. I'm
going to be honest. I feel like she would destroy Kahori.
Yeah, but maybe she has leveled up since then.
I think she'd have to level up pretty.
We have Storm with Mjolnir coming.
We're talking a duo celestial level.
That's a lot of powers. But I will say this: I cannot wait to see everybody's reaction to Storm, Goddess of Thunder, later on, because that's just one of the coolest things ever.
The only thing, TJ, and I'll say it because even though I do not think we'll get there, unfortunately, the only thing that would be a substantial enough threat for a being of that kind of power is an incursion.
That is what I want this to lead to as well, is an incursion. I was theorizing before this. It felt so perfect that we would see our live action universes, Doctor Strange and Clea, in What If Season 3, going to help quick stop an incursion to tie into that post-credit scene. Like, I know that'll hopefully get tied back in at some point going forward here, and we see what happened. But it really did feel like a great place for them to touch on that in this series. Maybe it still could happen. We're still hoping for that incursion. And we're going to be talking about the next episodes of What If back here on the Agents of Fandom podcast. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your pods, hit the notification bell. We will be back tomorrow with our Sonic 3 review. We will be back on the 26th for our mega holiday show. We're going to be talking episodes of What If 3, 4, and 5. We're going to be talking Skeleton Crew episode 5, Creature Commandos episode 5. We got a ton of great guests joining us for that one. And next week, we will be finishing up talking about What If, as well as having a very special guest joining us, John Bailey, voice of Jeff the Landshark in Marvel Rivals. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Shout out to Marvel Superheroes joining us. Said they're going to see us next time. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to the live viewers who are tuning in today, Brandon and Ryan. I know when we do these early morning shows, we don't have as many on the live, but we do it so that all the people can see us afterwards. So those who are joining us after the fact, shout out to you watching us. Thank you. Make sure you hit the like button as well. Damon, we got a Comic Corner dropping this week, or are we taking a week off for the holidays?
Oh, we always have a Comic Corner dropping. We stop for no one because there was actually, I'm talking to a plushie. There actually was
It's
a
early.
new issue
It's early,
of
okay.
Jeff the Landshark's Infinity comic that dropped this week, which is super cute. Go check it out.
And you can find many of Damon's interviews with Jeff the Landshark creator Kelly Thompson on the Agents of Fandom YouTube page. And you can also check out my interview with Brian Andrews, the director of What If Season 3, on the Agents of Fandom YouTube page as well. Also, right down there, the link in the description, you can find the interview. So make sure you check that one out. We talked about what characters he was not allowed to use in the series, as well as some other fun stuff. Rich, where can the people find you on socials? And do you have anything else for the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, you can find me just right down here at Richard Nebbins on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere you want to find me. I'm always working on stuff for the direct. We've been covering a lot of Virgin River recently from Netflix. Season 6 just dropped. And no, nothing too big in the works coming up. Although about a month from now, I'm taking my first real vacation in God knows how long. And it's going to be on the first official San Diego Comic-Con cruise, which is going to be unbelievable. I've had this thing booked for a year and a half already, going from Tampa to Cozumel. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to get something fun going on that cruise, maybe an interview or something here and there. Don't know for sure, but worst case, it's going to be an incredible vacation. And I'm going to get to be on a ship full of nerds for 4 days. And so that's in about a month. And yeah, looking forward to everything we got coming up for both the direct and Agents of Fandom. We've got a lot we are going to be covering over the next 12 months or so, over the next few weeks. And yeah, happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa. Hope you guys are enjoying your time with your family and everything. And I'm just glad to be here with you guys.
Couldn't agree more. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas. Hope you just, most of all, get a chance to spend some time with some family, chance to relax. I know a lot of us going into the holiday season are often experiencing burnout because we have so many different things going on. So make sure you give yourself a little chance to take care of yourself. Christmas can be stressful. You're seeing people you haven't seen in a long time. I'm sure Hanukkah is the same way, Rich, where it's like you see a bunch of family members that you haven't seen in a year or multiple years. You're having uncomfortable conversations. Now, people don't always agree about views, and it can be stressful. But
any of these holidays can always be stressful. So just take it easy, everybody. Enjoy the season. Remember why you're there, and just make the best out of it.
Sit back, relax, and watch the Agents of Fandom podcast because we got so much great stuff coming. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for tuning in today, everyone. We will be back tomorrow with our Sonic 3 review, and then later in the week with our mega holiday show, talking Skeleton Crew, talking Creature Commandos, talking What If. We will see you then. Peace out, everybody.